What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sports Entertainment Tonight, right here on AOC. As we get, as we're moving around in here. I am your friendly neighborhood wrestle gamer. I will be joined shortly, very shortly, by Nick Nede Fuquay and Mark the Smart Trahan. My cohorts in crime apparently are MIA, as you guys can see. So, but we do have a lot to get to, a lot to talk about, especially with NXT Takeover San Antonio and the Royal Rumble coming up this weekend. It's definitely going to be quite the interesting shows, to say the least. And more importantly, I think as of late, NXT being the better brand and the better product, as I'm sinking below the desk. Yeah, everybody on YouTube and Twitch are wondering, what the hell's going on?
It's a public access.
It's public access. Oh, man. Yeah, well, I do apologize about that, ladies and gentlemen, but in the meantime, we're going to be talking about NXT TakeOver San Antonio, and like I said, the Royal Rumble, and what's up to that guy Tone. Says so ready for the show, so am I. And we got Mr. Mexican America and Non-Zero, and we got a strip tease going on over here.
Wow!
And he's back this week, Nick Nede Fuquay. Nick, how you doing, man?
I am doing swell. Thank you, Billy Boudreaux. Sorry I'm running a little late. Acadiana and World.
Yep. But
who are we talking to tonight, Billy?
Well, we got so far. We got that guy Tone in the YouTube chat room, and on Twitch we had Non-Zero Zeus and I believe Mr. Mexican America. And is Mark coming?
I called Mark about an hour ago and didn't hear from him. So.
Oh, so Mark is MIA. So
MIA Mark.
So Twitch's favorite star is not here tonight.
Yes, but it'll be okay. We'll make do. You said I heard something about NXT.
Takeover San Antonio. We got that coming up this Saturday, as well as the Royal Rumble. Now, the Royal Rumble, for years I've been doing it on YouTube. It's one of the hardest pay-per-views to accurately predict which way it's going to go, because of the fact there's like 30 different variables that could happen in the Rumble match. So it's quite difficult to actually pin it down to one specific person that's going to go over in that match.
Well, and I would even say, Billy, that for me, Royal Rumble the last like 4 or 5 years has been too predictable.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, I knew Roman Reigns was going to win last year. Everybody knew. The year before.
Triple H
won the year before. It was Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you knew John Cena, and, you know, I mean, like, it's been very predictable, in my opinion, for the last 5. I mean, I've called the winner every year the last 5 years.
Yeah, but you got to think, in this year's Rumble match,
you can't do it.
Because 2 of those predictable names, the Roman Reigns and the John Cena, are not in that match.
Not in the match, right. So you got Lesnar, Goldberg, Undertaker. I mean, like some real big names. And for the first time, you don't really know the WrestleMania card in January. You know, it's in a while, it seems like.
Oh, definitely.
So a lot of stuff to talk about. I mean, as far as like even surprise entrants in the Rumble as well.
The Twitch chat is crying that Mark's not here.
Mark, where are you? I texted you. I called you. What's up, buddy?
And we got D-Lam1. Shout out to D-Lam and the Code of Honor EFED here on Twitch. Be sure you check them out. Twitch.tv/DLAM1. I highly recommend you guys check them out every Wednesday and Thursday. And they also sometimes do their own pay-per-views on Sundays.
What?
And Non-Zero Zeus V2 says, if Mark doesn't show, I give up. And D-Lam says, well, what about us? I mean, what are we? Chopped liver?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we're here too.
Well, we're just not as
I got the Mario shirt on.
The Mario shirt.
Hey, Jacob, can you come plug me in, dude?
By the way.
Yep.
Yep. And what about Jacob? No props for Jacob. Jacob's here too.
I mean, take a look at Jacob.
Look
Jacob,
at that. Look at that
camera real quick. My boat.
Oh God, no!
His neck, his back.
And that was behind me too.
It was right on Billy's head. kind of. You got booty on your head.
Now I'm a butthead.
Evil says I'm crying because that
literal-
kid-
It's like
butthead.
it barely reaches, just letting you know. So I'll unplug it when you
So I
finish.
guess that makes me Beavis then, huh? Like,
no,
Under here.
not that I could see.
No worries.
that's what we do. We set up our show as we're doing the show.
Now they're calling for you to come back and twerk.
Oh,
I'm serious.
come give us a twerk. Get here.
Oh no!
Watch out! I Oh God! Bring in the female viewers there, Jacob. Thank you.
So we're going to do a little bit something different this week as we preview NXT Takeover San Antonio and the Royal Rumble, guys and gals. And that is, we're going to open up the phone lines right now. But the only thing is, we're only going to take calls for your picks and predictions for Takeover San Antonio and the Royal Rumble. That's it. If you want to call in and give us your predictions,
What else would they predict?
yeah, exactly. So that's the only calls that we're taking this week is your predictions and your picks for NXT Takeover San Antonio and the Royal Rumble. So if you guys want to call in, you guys see the number on the
Can
screen.
I throw 2 more predictions in there?
Sure.
How about predictions for additional Hall of Fame class? We'll take that. And even predictions for WrestleMania card. You can let your Royal Rumble conversation lead into, because I think WrestleMania is going to do this, because the WrestleMania feuds usually start at Royal Rumble.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And one of the things is thank you to DLAM1 for hosting me on their Twitch channel. Thank you very much for that. And Evil said, if you had a Falcons hat on, shut up, Evil. The Falcons are in the playoffs. They're in the Super Bowl,
They're in the
I believe.
Super Bowl, actually. And just
I'm a straight-up
as
Saints
a Saints
fan.
yeah, you can't root for the Falcons, even though I think they're going to win.
Yeah, so if you guys want to call in and give us your predictions for that, the Hall of Fame, and what else did you say?
And WrestleMania card.
Yeah, we'll definitely hear what you guys have to say.
You know, I mean, is it still Brock versus Goldberg?
From the way it's been looking as of late, I think that all depends on what happens in the Royal Rumble match.
Sure. I mean, because I think Vince has changed his mind on a couple things here.
Yeah, he changed his mind on The Undertaker versus John Cena. Jacob, is there any chance I can get a cup of water?
Yep. Be right back.
Yeah, because he's got his own bottle of water
yeah,
in
I
here.
got one here. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's in the studio with all the lights on. It's actually quite hot.
Well, and with me around, too. You know.
Well, that too. But one of the things I was saying is, as of late, NXT has always been takeovers. It's kind of outshined WWE in some aspects. And taking a look at the Takeover San Antonio card, do you think that could happen again?
It's definitely possible. We'll see. We got a caller, so let's go ahead and take that.
All right, caller, what's your name and where are you from?
My name is Alex, and I'm from Boston.
Alex from Austin, welcome to the show. First question we want to ask you, additional Hall of Fame people this year, who do you see that could also go into the Hall of Fame this year?
For the international class, I can see Dr. Wagner.
I'm sorry, say that name again?
Dr. Wagner?
Dr. Wagner?
Not familiar.
Name rings a bell.
They've already got Kurt Angle as the headliner, and I've heard that Rick Rude is supposed to be in there as well.
Yeah.
Can go in.
And Ravishing Rick Rude, I think, deserves this spot. He's done a lot.
Well, and they usually only bring in one deceased person a year. Which is Ravishing Rick Rude deceased?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe he was in an accident, I believe.
Right. So, and I mean, I would imagine he'd be the deceased person that comes in.
Yeah. But anyway, let's take a look at the NXT Takeover San Antonio card. First off, Alex, we got Ty Dillinger and Beth Phoenix is confirmed according to DLAM1. Beth Phoenix is confirmed for the Hall of Fame. DLAM, is that correct?
Beth Phoenix. Wow.
Beth Phoenix. Wow, that's.
Wasn't it Edge's
Yeah.
wife for a minute?
They're still married.
They're still married.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
still married.
Cool. Well, yeah, she's got
Ty
clout.
Dillinger and Eric
And
Young.
Eric Young. Now, for those of you who don't know what that storyline is, on last week's NXT, Eric Young and Sanity, it came out to the ring while Ty Dillinger was in there and demanded that Dillinger joined up with Sanity, and Ty Dillinger turned them down. So they instituted a beatdown on him, and now we have this matchup coming up at NXT Takeover San Antonio between Dillinger and Eric Young. And by the way, Killian Dane, that guy's a big MFer. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Big Damo.
No, Killian Dane. That is his name, or Big Dane or something like that. But the match is Ty Dillinger and Eric Young. Alex, what do you think?
I think it's going to be Ty Dillinger, and then have Dillinger go up to the main roster.
Well, the NXT roster's been hurting in 2016 because they pretty much drained the entire roster and brought them up to the main roster. So, I mean, they do need to keep some people around.
And Sammy, that went up mostly along with Kevin, but that's about it. The thing too is that they have Shinsuke and Austin Aries and Bobby Roode.
And Austin Aries is main roster bound. He's going to be going against Neville at WrestleMania.
And I think that should be just enough time for him for that broken orbital bone that he had to be actually healed up. So that's one of the reasons why he's been sidelined and just been doing commentary. And Dean Lamb's also saying the Natural Disasters, Earthquake and Tugboat as a tag team will be going into the Hall of Fame.
Sweet.
Yeah, and they were a monstrous-sized tag team, and I believe they defeated Demolition for the World Wrestling Federation tag team titles.
And Earthquake had a pretty big run as a top heel against Hogan, you know, so.
Yeah. However, when he made the jump to WCW...
And Tugboat is infamous for his Star Wars character. What was
Shockmaster.
The Shockmaster, yeah.
And you know what? I actually had the privilege of interviewing him over on Hardcore Wrestling Radio, Fred Ottman.
Oh, awesome.
And he was a very, very interesting person to talk to. If you guys want to check out more about that interview, go over to youtube.com/HWR show and listen to the interview with us and Fred Ottman. It was a very, very interesting conversation that we had with them. We got another phone call coming in, and we can't take two calls at once, so caller from Jonesboro, and
Let's get through the rest of this card.
Yeah, let's get to the... do you have the card on you?
No, the only matches that I think have been announced, Asuka's going to be in a fatal four-way.
Yes, with Nikki Cross, Billie Kay, and Peyton Royce. First off, Asuka in them tight blue jeans on NXT this week. I don't know if you guys saw that, but...
I look at all of them all day long.
People want a reason why I like Asuka so much. Just look at NXT last night.
Asuka's Asian.
But not only that, but how hot did she look in them tight blue jeans? I mean, you know what? If you guys out there want girls in dresses, that's up to y'all. But give me a hot girl in a tight pair of blue jeans any day of the week. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But what about that fatal four-way? I mean, you got to look at it like this, Alex. Asuka's been undefeated ever since she's debuted in NXT. And they need to find the right talent to not only give her her first loss, but for them to take the title off and put it on. Do you see any of those talents in this match? And like Nikki Cross or Billie Kay or Peyton Royce, do you see any of them doing that?
May I intervene?
Wait, hold on, Alex. Nick?
They wouldn't have Asuka be pinned in that match.
Well, here's what I'm saying. The roster is relatively depleted. There's no big person to go against Asuka right now. So one way that you could build over somebody without burying Asuka and having her get pinned is it's a fatal four-way match. Have like Peyton Royce pin somebody else, and then that'll set up a feud with them.
And I think that's what
build
Alex,
somebody a new name.
And I think that's what Alex was referring to, the fact that Asuka would not be involved.
In the pin, right.
Yeah, but if Asuka's not going to be involved, then who do you see getting the title?
Who would I see getting what title?
The NXT Women's title.
Nikki Cross.
You know, I don't have to say that, but I got to stick behind my girl Asuka, just for the fact that
you love Asuka.
Well, yeah, not only is she hot, but she kicks ass.
Oh, sure. I'm going to have to go Peyton Royce on this one.
You're going to go Peyton Royce?
Why not? Isn't she a heel?
Well, yeah, and you are the heel.
The feud with Asuka.
You are the heel of sports entertainment tonight.
I am.
Yeah, So sorry, Tone, you're no longer the heel. It's been Nick all along.
They're gonna be more than one. They're gonna be more than one. We
Well-
gotta take over the world somehow.
Well, you're the top heel,
Oh, okay.
and Tone is mid card.
Mid-card heel.
He's probably gonna call in a few minutes and cuss me out.
Hey, you can break the glass ceiling at any moment, So, and then what else is our
We had
world
the-
title match? We got Bobby Roode and Nakamura.
Ooh, that's gonna be hard to call, but we got one other match beyond that.
Oh,
We got
the tag team titles.
Yes, DIY, which is one of my favorite tag teams in all of WWE right now, and the Authors of Pain. This is kind of making the old classic underdog story with hashtag DIY. Them holding the championship, and you got the Monsters.
I love DIY. I think DIY will beat the Authors of Pain somehow, some way, shape, or form.
They will.
I don't know. As much as I like DIY, Authors of Pain have been pushed like crazy. I mean, they won the Dusty Rhodes Classic tag team tournament.
They need
and
to develop new talent.
yeah, that too. And so far, I don't think the Authors of Pain have actually suffered a loss in NXT as a tag team yet.
It'll be interesting.
So yeah,
Your Tone, you have to go on.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Tone wants to come on.
Somebody else wants to come on? Tone wants to come on?
Tone. Okay, I will sum up my predictions real quick.
Okay.
I feel like Andrade will beat Roderick Strong, and then Shinsuke will beat Bobby.
Shinsuke beat Bobby, and then
And Roderick Strong will beat Andrade, Cien, Almas.
you suck, Roderick.
No, other way around?
Beat Strong.
Okay. All right, and we'll just move very
And
quick.
for the Royal Rumble,
Yeah.
the Royal Rumble winner will be either James Ellsworth or Heath Slater. Good night.
Wow.
Good night.
Nice.
Thanks.
I like that. Ellsworth winning the Royal Rumble.
Well, thank you very much to Alex for your call. I got to disagree with him a little bit about Cien, Almas, and Roderick Strong and Shinsuke versus Bobby Roode. First off, and that's probably Tone right there. Tone, is that you, man?
No, this is the World Champion Series, Josh. What's up?
Oh, hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good.
Well, we've been talking about NXT Takeover San Antonio and the Royal Rumble. Can we quickly get your picks on NXT Takeover San Antonio? The first match we talked about was Eric Young and Ty Dillinger.
I think EY is going to win, and Ty Dillinger is going to be the 10th entry in the Rumble.
That would be cool.
Yeah, because he has the perfect 10. What about the NXT Women's Championship match? Asuka, Peyton, Royce, Billie Kay, and Nikki Cross.
If Asuka were to lose, she's not getting pinned, but nobody's worthy of beating her, so she should retain somehow.
I think there might be one person that they've been building up to it, and I think Ember Moon, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Ember Moon is just as talented as Asuka.
Mother
Very good.
Tamagotchi Tanaka to come over from Japan and take her on, because nobody here in the States is good enough.
All right, we also got the NXT Tag Team Championship. We were just talking about DIY defending against the Authors of Pain.
DIY is great, but I want to see Authors of Pain. I like those dominant big teams like that. Those guys are beasts.
I agree.
And not only that, Paul Ellering is behind them. I mean, the legendary manager of the Road Warriors.
And that helps them build new tag teams.
Revival's my favorite tag team in WWE right now, but I think they're going to main.
Yeah, I think that they might have a couple of surprise entrants in the Royal Rumble match, and they possibly could be the Revival. I mean,
Maybe 11 American Alpha or something to set up a match.
I don't want to see a Revival in the Rumble.
why not? Well, they got to
It's a
fill.
tag
They got to
team.
fill spot. They got to fill spots somehow.
And that's a stacked Royal Rumble right now, and
And
they're fighting
to be
for
honest,
spots.
the main event, I don't mind who wins.
Are you talking about John
like
Cena and
those.
AJ Styles?
Oh, no, God. AJ Styles better win.
Yeah, please, AJ,
Talking about
win.
Nakamura and Roode.
Oh yeah, because both of them are strong, viable champions. In my personal opinion. I mean, Bobby Roode's track record speaks for itself.
Sure.
Especially what he's done in TNA and Impact Wrestling, or as Anthem Sports and Entertainment would like to drop the TNA and just call it Impact Wrestling. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago here on the show, and Shinsuke Nakamura, longest reigning IWGP Intercontinental Champion, multiple time champion over in New Japan. I mean, both guys are huge, viable champions, but is this the time that Bobby Roode becomes NXT champion and takes that title to be glorious?
Nakamura just got it back. Which, speaking of which, is Samoa Joe set to do anything at TakeOver?
Maybe they won't Roode on main roster because they're both ready. I mean,
Well, I'm thinking Samoa Joe is definitely going to be in the Rumble.
yeah, he's going to be a surprise entry for sure.
Yeah, but what about Finn Balor?
He's probably in there,
Definitely
too.
Finn Balor, too.
We got Real Brett over in Twitch chat.
Balor could be in there, but the thing is, he didn't lose his title. He was injured. So I think for the title match regardless, I think they're building up Sami Zayn to possibly win. That could be a thing.
That could be a thing. You're very right about that one. A couple of things to pick up on. Real Brett in the Twitch chat says Peyton Royce over Billie Kay. Screw you. D-Lam says, Tone, you're a jobber heel. Also said DIY might lose to save the 205 live ratings. I wouldn't be surprised if they took the titles off of them just to put Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa on a 205 live. I mean, they're both viable contenders.
Johnny Wrestling, man.
Exactly. Real Brett also says Nakamura over Roode because Roode is far beyond ready for the main roster, and he should have made main roster on his way in like AJ Styles. Yes and no.
I mean, I've heard that possibly Bray Wyatt wins the Chamber, goes into Mania as champ, and Randy Orton wins the Rumble, and that's the other way around. I like somebody new to win the Rumble.
D-Liam also says Nakamura losing to Roode and winning the Rumble to save Raw. And he also says Nakamura versus Reigns and Samoa Joe versus Cena. Wish they are aiming for this. I mean, Meltzer saying Styles and Owens are dropping the gold before Mania, so that could be a great solution if possible. I think WWE might want Cena to tie Ric Flair for being a 16-time World Heavyweight Champion, but would it be good for the business? I think fans would be split down the middle for that one.
Triple H also said that there's going to be a surprise, like winner. People won't expect you to win.
Sure.
So
I can almost even see Miz winning it.
Take on Hornswoggle for the world title at Mania.
Poor AJ buried in the back of the poster for Royal Rumble.
I know. And then on NBC today, they referred to him as...
Yeah,
Yeah, they called him that guy from Atlanta. I mean, really?
Well, it's the Super Bowl, Boston versus...
Oh, man. But anyway...
There's no more How About Some Saints, no more. Get out of here with that.
Boston versus Falcons, I guess, so...
I thought it was New England.
New England, which is in Boston, pretty much.
I'll call in for you.
All right, well, great, man. Well, it's awesome talking to you. Thanks for the call.
All right, man.
Yeah, it was nice for you to talk to me again.
Yeah, it was.
Honor for you. That's right.
Yeah, the COH World Heavyweight Champion, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
So be sure you check them out. Again, that's on twitch.tv/DLAM1 with the code of honor. Thank you very much for the call. Tone, when you going to call in, man? We're waiting on you. But like I said, as far as Andrade, Cien, Almas, and Roderick Strong are concerned, there's really been not much of a build, except they've done stuff over Twitter. Or something like that. Hello, you're on the air.
Oh, hello. It's me, Tone. You've been mentioning my name all day. I think I need to call.
Well, you've been reduced in status. You're no longer the top heel of the show because the top heel is right here.
Oh, well, who cares about him?
Yeah, exactly.
It's all about James Ellsworth, and it's all about me.
F that guy.
Top heel of territory, baby.
All right, Tone, very quickly, for NXT Takeover San Antonio, Dillinger versus Eric Young, your pick.
Well, Dillinger seems to have this thing where he likes to lose when it matters. So
well, yeah.
I'm going to continue to go that route and say Eric Young's probably going to win.
All right, we have Roderick Strong and Andrade, Cien, Almas.
I'm hoping Andrade wins because his heel work has been pretty great. So I'm hoping he wins, but I feel like Roderick Strong is going to win.
They need to work on his English because, it's hard to boo a guy when he's just doing all of his promos in Spanish. When you don't know Spanish either.
Like Del Rio did the same thing. His first few promos were just in Spanish, and people were booing because they didn't understand.
Well,
So
yeah.
I think I'm all right with him just going straight Spanish and not caring about what the Americans have to say about it.
Well, yeah, I could see that happening. That would be a good way to bring some more heat on him. The NXT Tag Team Championship, DIY, and the Authors of Pain.
I'm picking the Authors of Pain 100%. They haven't lost a match, I believe, since they've come in, but they're my favorite team in NXT next to DIY for match quality, but I do love a dominant team, and Paul Ellering, big manager, is a great thing, too, so.
We have the NXT Women's Championship, Asuka, Nikki Cross, Billie Kay, and Peyton Royce.
I'm going to go with Asuka. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah. And the NXT Championship, which probably be a hard one to call, because like we were saying earlier, both of these guys are viable champions, Shinsuke Nakamura and Bobby Roode.
I think Bobby Roode's going to win. Not Bobby Roode, no. I think Nakamura's going to win. I think Chris Hero coming back.
Yeah, he is. Cassius Ohno, I think, is his name.
Kind of a barometer of where they seem to go with Nakamura after Roode. So I think Nakamura may take it and then go after Roode. Go after Ohno will go after him, hopefully.
All right, and now we got you here. We're going to talk a couple of the Royal Rumble matches with you. Sasha Banks and Nia Jax. This matchup, this feud has been kind of building over the past couple of weeks, and they're putting it on the kickoff show. Nick, do you think this is the best place to have that match is on the kickoff?
Sure, why not?
Because who
I
watches
didn't
the
even
2-hour
think they were going
kickoff?
to have
I
it
don't.
on the card because it looked like Sasha was hurt and she was on crutches.
Yeah, but they're going to go through with the match on the kickoff. Tom, what do you think?
I think that Sasha's going to win somehow, some way. Maybe some type of roll-up on that big lady. If not, then...
That's the kindest way you could put it, Tone, right there. That big lady.
That's the nicest way to put it. A big lady.
Yeah. I could kind of see Sasha Banks going over on this one. Again, they're placing her in the underdog role once again, that she's got to overcome insurmountable odds, and not only facing Nia Jax, but the knee injury as well. So
Nia Jax going to lay the smack down.
All right, we got the Raw Tag Team Championship, Cesaro and Sheamus and Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson. And what's interesting about this match, Nick, is that there are 2 referees assigned to this match. Do you think that'll make a difference on how they execute this match?
They wouldn't have booked it that way unless it is going to play into the match in some kind of way.
So it's going to be like the usual MO that we've seen before, one referee in the inside and one referee on the outside?
Well, they might take out the second referee even. You never know.
Definitely. Tom, what are your thoughts about this?
I think that the 2 referees will play a role in it. I do think that the club is going to get the belt at Rumble.
Well, the refs are going to probably disagree on their decision. Like, one will call for Luke Gallows and Anderson to win, one will call for Sheamus and Cesaro to win.
So you kind of see like a draw thing happening?
Yeah, something like that. A controversial thing where they have another match.
I think they can have one more match, and they'll probably have it at Raw that Monday, and then that's where the club will take it.
Or Elimination Chamber even. Or whatever, Fast Lane. I think Raw
has Fast Lane, SmackDown has Elimination Chamber. Well, Tom, before we let you go, man, last thing I want to ask you, your pick for the Royal Rumble match. Are you still sticking behind the No Chin Wonder?
Oh, no, not at all. I want him to be in it. I want him to be number 1.
He'll be in it.
I want Eugene to be number 2. But that's
You want Nick Densmore to be in the Royal Rumble match?
I've read somewhere that he may be that him and Eugene and Ellsworth may be a thing sometime soon. So, if not, then my pick will probably be Braun Strowman. I'm going with the odds makers on this one. They're betting 2-1 that it'll be Braun. So I'll go on their side.
Interesting.
Evil says, "How dare thy put the club on the pre-show? That will be great show or great match." Yeah, definitely. And D-Lam is still saying that I'm hoping Rey Mysterio was a surprise in the Rumble. I think Rey Mysterio is still under contract to Lucha Underground, I believe.
Yeah, he's locked up with them and the El Rey Network. I think they have him producing some television shows too. So. Yeah,
so he's not going to have time to do anything with the WWE. Well, Tom, it was great talking to you this week, man. We got to free up the phone lines for other people to call, man. So thanks very much for your call.
No problem at all. I'll be back next week.
All right, man. Thank you very much for the call. Another match to look forward at the Royal Rumble will be the 6-woman tag match featuring, if I can get everything, Evil Deeds for Life says, my money is on the Big Show for winning. Well, considering the standoff that he had with Braun Strowman on Monday Night Raw, do you think, I think Big Show can go for a little while in the Royal Rumble match, but do you think he's in the right shape in this part of his life and his career to win the Royal Rumble match?
No, probably not. And there's rumors that he's going to be going against Shaquille O'Neal at the WrestleMania. So, I mean, that could mean that Shaq could possibly even be in the Rumble, and they kind of go at it.
Whoa!
What up, Corey?
Hey, Corey, man, we got a lot more callers this week, man, huh?
What's the Dillinger?
Corey, we need you to turn your TV down a little bit, man.
Yeah, man, because we can hear us on your TV. So you don't need to have your TV on, man, because you can hear us through the phone.
Hold on, right quick.
Evil says WWE don't want that murderer.
What murderer?
What murderer?
Oh, somebody in the Hall of Fame maybe murdered somebody?
I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know either.
Well, while we wait for Corey, we got the 6-woman tag match from SmackDown Live. Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, and Naomi taking on Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, who made her debut. As number one rule when calling in the show, we do not answer any calls from an anonymous caller. If you do not have a phone number on our caller ID, we will not answer that call. You have to call from a phone line.
Sure.
I'm back.
All right, Corey, we've been talking about the Royal Rumble match. And there's a lot of people in our chat.
I'm right on time.
So who you got for winning the Royal Rumble match, Corey? What's your pick?
I give y'all 3 picks.
Okay.
I got Goldberg for 1. Undertaker for 2. And Braun Strowman for 3.
Okay. Brock Lesnar? Number 4?
In the chat room, they're talking about Rey Mysterio. Only thing I'm going to say about that story, and I know the story that they're alluding to, Rey Mysterio's been cleared of all charges. And if he wasn't, he wouldn't be working in Lucha Underground today. So that's the only time I'm going to address that subject. Hey, Corey, you don't need to have your TV on, man. We can hear you through the phone, and you can hear us.
Corey, you're killing us with the dead air.
We're hearing us. The reason we're asking is because we're hearing us over your phone, Corey, and that's why it gets a little hard to talk to you. But we're talking about Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Nikki Bella taking on Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Natalya. First off, Nick, I want to ask you this question because you weren't here. What were your thoughts on the way they debuted Mickie James on SmackDown as La Luchadora?
I thought it was okay. You know, they helped Alexa Bliss. You know, she's pretty. Mickie James is a good heel. She's got a history of that. I mean, it is what it is as far as the mass character. I think they had a couple people playing the Luchadora.
Yeah.
You know, but ultimately, I think it's a good way to bring her in and start her with a feud with Becky Lynch.
Corey, what did you think about the way they brought in Mickie James to SmackDown? Did that catch you by surprise to see her back?
I didn't think she was going to come back. I didn't think she was going to come back.
She's been in NXT.
Yeah, she challenged Asuka at NXT Takeover Toronto, which was back in November, if I'm not mistaken.
I've seen it. I watched it. I've seen it.
But now we got this 6-woman tag match at the Royal Rumble. Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Nikki Bella taking on Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Natalya. Nick, is it just me or is every time we see Nikki Bella? And again, we will not take calls from an anonymous person. I've already said it once, and I don't want to have to say it again. We will not take phone calls from anyone with a blocked phone number.
Billy makes the rules.
Hey, y'all got my
Gotta have a number.
So
y'all got my number, so y'all good.
We got your number, Corey.
Yeah, Corey, but because there's another person trying to call in from an anonymous.
Well, usually anonymous callers are just talking trash.
Yeah, so that's why we don't take calls from anonymous people. But what do you think? What do you think about this match? Nick, I want to start with you. The
six-woman tag match
with Becky Lynch.
I would say that would probably be the match where I will go outside and like smoke and maybe go like pick up something to eat or take a bathroom break and then read about it later.
That's the match where you go get some popcorn.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. I think the SmackDown women talent have been kind of outperforming the Raw women talent in a sense, but not by much.
But that's the lowest card on the match for me.
Really?
On the pay-per-view for me.
You wouldn't put Sasha Banks and Nia Jax in that slot?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. I mean, those two matches are the lowest, too, for me.
I know it's going to be a good feud.
What you got?
Natalya and the other one.
Nikki Bella?
Nikki Bella.
Is it?
I'm already tired of it.
Yeah, but I don't mind
They're
looking at
doing
Nikki
a good
Bella.
job with it. I like it so far. I mean, it's gotten brutal. They're fighting backstage.
Fighting at the merchandise stands?
I mean, it is what it is. They're ruthless aggression there.
She want her merchandise to be up there.
Where's Joey Styles one with "Can't fight! Can't fight!"
Y'all got some trivia for me?
Yep, and we're going to ask you this one. There's only been one person in the entire Royal Rumble history, and I'm going to give you the Royal Rumble year. It's 1992. This person,
I know it,
was the only person to win, the first person to win the World Wrestling Federation Championship in the Royal Rumble match.
Ric Flair.
That's exactly right. Ric Flair was the very first person in Royal Rumble history to win the WWF Championship in the Royal Rumble match. The next year is when they started instituting the stipulation that the winner of the Royal Rumble match goes to WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Now hold up, yo. Where WrestleMania at this year?
in Orlando.
Orlando?
Yeah.
And then in New Orleans next year.
Corey, we better see you there next year, man.
Oh, man, that's about right there. Let's go. I'm going to meet y'all one day, bro.
All right, Corey. Well, it was great talking to you, man, and we got to let you go.
Hey, man, next week.
Next week,
It's
man,
gonna be
holler at us.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the Royal Rumble this week.
And we'll see you at WrestleMania 34.
Look, y'all better think about them predictions, too.
Oh, we got them predictions, Corey.
No, man, I'm saying I might be right.
Yes, sir. Well, we got your predictions, and duly noted. But we appreciate the call, man. We're going to get to some other callers.
Yep.
All right, man, next week.
All right, take it easy, Corey.
All right. Now, the chat room is saying that this is D-Lam 1. D-Lam, is this you?
This is D-Lam 1. This is the man.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know or don't know COH, D-Lam is the voice behind COH, and he's done a magnificent job as a commentator. So first off, from one commentator to another, D-Lam, you have my props for the work that you've done on COH.
Hey, man, and the same for you, man. You put on a really good show weekly, and I couldn't help but call in because I want to join this Rumble conversation because Rumble happens to be my favorite pay-per-view of the year.
Surely, especially when it's not predictable.
Well,
yes, this is crazy. It's interesting.
It's the first time in years that I haven't been able to call the winner, just like that.
Well, exactly.
And either it's WWE kayfabing us, you know what I mean? It could be WWE kayfabing us, and it could be somebody so predictable, but hopefully Triple H is right, and we get somebody that we do not expect, you know?
Well, I wouldn't
shake things up a little bit.
Well, Samoa Joe could be a prime candidate to do that. I mean, look
him
what he
versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania. That would be good.
Remember the feud they had in TNA? They had a magnificent feud. So
they had an amazing feud. And if you add Cena to the mix, it could be one outstanding match. I know a lot of people might dislike Cena, but I think Samoa Joe can bring the best out of John Cena. I will say what Meltzer said, Dave Meltzer. He said that neither AJ Styles or Kevin Owens will be going into Mania as champion. So I think it's a sure bet that Roman and Cena will be the champions going in.
So I can imagine that's your pick. What about the Cruiserweight Championship match we got with Rich Swann and Neville? Neville has been, ever since he's turned heel, Nick, he's been like one of the talks of 205 Live and on Monday Night Raw.
As he should have always been. He should have, I mean, I don't necessarily know about the Cruiserweight tournament, but, you know, Neville is the top Cruiserweight in the WWE. You know, as far as look, as far as his abilities, he's former NXT champion, so he should be on top of 205 Live. And as I said earlier, I predict it's going to be Neville defending the title against Austin Aries at WrestleMania.
What do you think, D. Lamb? Is this the time that they put the title on the King of the Cruiserweights?
I think it is time. Or they might draw this feud out. 205 Live has been losing in ratings. People are leaving in flocks, and they're trying to get people to move them up to the front row. So a way to make 205 more established, if they put the belt on Neville, because Neville has a name. He's the best cruiserweight in the world today, and the only person who is on his level is Will Ospreay, and he's not signed. So I think Neville should be champion at this point in time. So
You know who I'm disappointed that WWE didn't sign to a contract from the CWC? Zack Sabre Jr.
Him and Kota Ibushi is not yet signed either. He's recently worked Wrestle Kingdom as Tiger Mask W. If you didn't know that, he was Tiger Mask W in New Japan's pay-per-view. So he's not officially on contract either. Him and Zack Sabre, they did not sign contracts because they're getting paid more in the Indies than what they could be getting paid in WWE.
But I think they did sign Akira Tozawa, I believe. Didn't they sign Akira Tozawa?
He's debuting next week, and Tozawa will change that division. If anything, it should be Tozawa versus Neville if Austin Aries is not, if he's not cleared to wrestle in the near future. It should be Tozawa next.
And here's an interesting question. Where's Grand Metalik?
Apparently he might be injured. I think he got injured in, a house show of some sort in Mexico. That's unclear, but at any given time we can see him. He is a part of the division. They do promote him, so.
Well, we got the Raw Women's Championship being defended. Charlotte, who's been undefeated, I think they said 15-0 at pay-per-views, defending the title.
But it's 2017 now.
Yeah, against Bayley. What do you think about this feud so far with Charlotte and Bayley over the championship, Nick?
It's been just kind of a whine fest, and Bayley's such a fan. I mean, I get what they're doing. They're trying to connect Bayley with the common fan, and she's, somebody that's achieving her dream of being a wrestler. But I don't think it's really working.
But think about what you just said, and the way they're trying to push her as being the common fan. There's been one other person who's been kind of considered common who went on to be just an insurmountable superstar. And that's the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
That's true. And that's her idol.
Yeah, so what do you think about that, D-Lam? Do you think that they're pushing Bayley the right way on Monday Night Raw? And do you think this is the time that they have Charlotte lose for the first time at a pay-per-view?
It's not the time, all right? It's definitely not the time for Charlotte to lose because there's one thing that Bayley has been doing is dropping the ball in promos. But if there's one thing you should be worried about is receiving a hug from Bayley because I know you've been chasing that for quite some time. He might actually give you a hug after she loses at the Rumble. It's not happening. They're setting up Charlotte to be a strong heel, a woman to change the division, and they've done that. The thing is they both need to step up in promos and make us believe in this match being big, and they have not done that just yet. So they're going to continue this feud on to Mania, and Charlotte will grab the victory.
I actually think you're going to get a fatal four-way at WrestleMania, with including Sasha Banks and Nia Jax. Fatal four-way.
Yep, and that's when they can turn Sasha Banks heel and change this whole division around with a possible call-up of Asuka in the near future. So
that would be great.
Asuka could really, really shake up that Raw women's division.
And they apparently have a women's tournament in the making that should go down next summer.
I believe so. It's going to be...
Oh, it's confirmed.
Yep.
Confirmed to happen.
Yeah, and WWE pulled off the Cruiserweight Classic splendidly. I watched it, and I was very impressed. So if that's any indication of what we can expect for the women's tournament, I'm definitely going to be tuned in, and we're definitely going to get a good product out of that.
Check out a question for y'all. What are y'all's thoughts about the UK title and how they didn't really promote it on Raw or SmackDown at all, or have the new champion on the show or anything? I guess it's just a UK title. We're not supposed to care in America.
I think WWE is supposed to be promoting their own United Kingdom program, I believe, and that could be the reason why they're not promoting it on Raw or SmackDown. As of yet, they probably don't have all the details ironed out on how they're going to execute this United Kingdom program. And, I think they kind of put the cart before the horse when it comes to that one, if you know that old analogy.
Sure.
They wanted to crown a champion before they even had a show established. The Cruiserweight Championship is a little bit different. They had a tournament for it, and they were on Monday Night Raw, so the Cruiserweights were already established. A United Kingdom division, however, had not been established in WWE, so I think WWE kind of dropped the ball a little
I
bit.
just haven't heard about it since they had the tournament,
Dean, what do you think about that?
I think there's a method to Triple H's madness of booking this because he is the director of this whole tournament. And I think that he has recently gave tickets to these top performers from the UK tournament, and they'll be appearing at the Royal Rumble in some shape or form, whether it's attacking somebody or just making their brand known. I think this is just like NXT, and it definitely has the feeling. And also prepare for the Asia or Latin American tournament in the near future too. WWE Takeover has begun. They're literally the McDonald's of wrestling now. They're taking over the whole world. So it's crazy to see.
And their recruiting is pretty amazing.
Especially with what they've done with NXT. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. NXT is the saving grace of WWE right now. It's by far the best product.
SmackDown Live,
You know what? If I were to put them in order, number 1, NXT, number 2, SmackDown, number 3, Raw.
Of course. Raw has been suffering. And is that Stephanie McMahon's fault? Mick Foley? The writers? I don't know.
It's
the 3 hours?
And he's out of touch.
And I have to agree with what Dillinger said. I think Vince has slowly lost touch with what.
And Vince controls Raw pretty much and doesn't really mess with SmackDown.
Raw, 205 Live, he controls that aspect.
And 205 Live gets crickets every night.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I actually watched 205 Live. Now, granted, I think the main event with Cedric Alexander and Neville was really well done.
Sure.
But
other than the botch at the end.
And Jack Gallagher is really coming into a character all of his own, and a great character that he is. But what else are they doing with 205 Live? They're really not doing much, to be honest.
Well, they should put it before SmackDown, if anything.
If anything, we should have a 2-hour Raw, and we said it for the longest time, a 2-hour Monday Night Raw and 1 hour for the Cruiserweights.
They'll never do it.
And I think, if they did it that way, though, that it would actually ease the burden on creative, because they've said it many a time of how hard it is to put together a 3-hour show.
It's about that. They'll never go to 2 hours.
All right. Now, I think we already know D-Lam's picks for the Universal Championship and the World Championship, but let's talk about it just a little bit with you, Nick. The way they set up this match with the Universal Championship on the line, Owens and Roman Reigns with Chris Jericho in the shark cage. We haven't seen a shark cage being implemented in a storyline in quite some time, and I think that the most infamous one that I can think of is one, I think it was Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
And I think you're going to see a very similar finish.
With J.J. Dillinger, who was in the shark cage at that time.
Chris Jericho is going to drop something to Kevin Owens, but Roman Reigns is going to get it. And ultimately, Roman Reigns is walking away with that title.
Deanam, do you think that's the way that they have Owens, they drop the title off of Owens, is a little miscue from Chris Jericho on the shark cage?
Owens is my favorite wrestler at this moment in time in the company, but he's been a bit stale because of booking. I think I think that shark cage should come out in the play, but I think either Roman Reigns is winning this Rumble again, which is something that we all don't want, or Kevin Owens is going to drop it and go in the Rumble and therefore lose. But I do want to see Jericho in the shark cage and use it to his advantage inside the Royal Rumble match to keep things interesting. I think the shark cage could come out in the play later on in the show, but I think they're going to start off with this matchup. Being that the loser will be in the Rumble, I think it's only a matter of time to see that shark cage add to possibilities in the Royal Rumble of somebody actually using it to not get eliminated.
Well, and I will say one positive thing about Roman Reigns winning the title is that it will add a little bit of prestige to the Universal Championship, because we've only had 2 NXT champions. We've had Finn Balor and Kevin Owens as the world champion, and nobody cares. As far as the common fan, the people that don't watch wrestling on a regular basis. So, I mean, Roman Reigns is a name, at least, to put some prestige on the title for WrestleMania.
Yeah, but Roman Reigns is...
I think Jericho should have had it a long time
Roman
ago.
Reigns, I'll agree with you on that one. Roman Reigns is a name. But here's the problem with it. He doesn't have a good track record with championships. I mean, they put the United States title on him. What did they do with it?
Well,
Nothing.
that was garbage. I mean, yeah, he had the world. He's a heavyweight contender and with a mid-card title, just to give him something to do.
Yeah, but I got to agree with you to an extent, but I would not be surprised to see them keep the title on Kevin Owens, to be honest.
And they're gonna do some stuff at Elimination Chamber and Fastlane, so you know, they're gonna change it up on us a little bit.
And we got the WWE World Championship, AJ Styles and John Cena. Now this one I'm actually looking forward to because every time
promos are great.
Not only that, but look at the past matches we've seen from Styles and Cena.
They've been great.
Yeah, they've been absolute
A+ work from these two.
So I got to tell you, D-Lam, regardless of this outcome, we're going to get another 5-star match out of these two guys.
Oh, no doubt, man. If it's anything like Omega versus Okada, I think WWE has to try. This is a trying period for WWE, and if they really want SmackDown to beat Raw in ratings, even though it seems like they've been beating them in show quality, they have to put on a 5-star match. They have to get people behind this new John Cena, this new outlook, and you know, he's signed for another TV show. John Cena's going places, so AJ dropping the belt to Cena wouldn't be a bad idea if it is a 5-star match. So, hopefully it is.
The only question is, who is going to be fighting for the World Championship at WrestleMania? And is it going to be against Cena or AJ Styles? I mean, they were talking Cena, Undertaker, possibly.
But that got changed. That got
changed, yeah. So, I mean, who knows? And that's great. I like who knows.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that... makes doing this show and what we do on here and what I do on YouTube so difficult. When you look at the Royal Rumble match and how many guys that are in there.
It's stacked this year.
It's stacked. And there's 30 different ways that this whole Royal Rumble match could go. And there's no, there's no set person. There's
Mojo Rawley's not going to win.
No, he's not. But he's going to be in there, I don't know, probably for a good while.
I could almost see the ring filling up.
Yeah. But that's one of the things, D-Lam, that's very hard when you look at this Royal Rumble match. There's just, there's 30 guys in there. It's so hard to pick which one we believe is going to be going to go over in this match.
That is true. And there's so many possibilities. I mean, even these outsiders that are not even signed to WWE until the Rumble starts. I mean, the possibilities of Kurt Angle working us all and being a part of this Rumble. And then there's also possibilities of a Samoa Joe or a Nakamura or even a Bobby Roode claiming that Rumble win because they got to push NXT. NXT is the future. And if Roman Reigns
but they got to sell tickets, too.
And the rumors, Vince McMahon is not going to run with him as the top face of the next top face of the company. So they're right now, it's a trying period for WWE. Either they're going to try to get Roman over or they're going to find a new face of the company. And I'm telling you right now, Nakamura or Roode could be that new face if they win the Rumble.
And it's hard to disagree with that statement. There are a couple of things that we can talk about. If Lesnar and Goldberg is going to be happening at WrestleMania again, then guaranteed that it has to have something happening in the Royal Rumble match.
Oh, of course.
Because they have to have some way to set it up. Now, with The Undertaker's appearance at the end of Monday Night Raw, I got to say, took me by surprise. As we got 2 minutes left in the show, but I got to say this, it's very difficult. So I really don't have a pick, to be honest, because it's just too damn hard to narrow it down to just one person. Nick, what about you?
I'm almost kind of going Braun Strowman, and he's going to be going against Roman Reigns.
I could see that happening. I could really see that happening. But anyway, guys and gals.
I mean, I'm kind of booing that a little bit too, but I mean, I could see it happening.
Yeah, Braun Strowman's been pushed hard as of late on Monday Night Raw, and he's really come onto his own. I really wasn't a huge fan of him when he debuted as part of the Wyatt family, because he was really green around the gills and really messed up a lot when he started with the Wyatt family. But ever since he transitioned to being on his own on Monday Night Raw, he's really started to excel.
Which I could even almost see a possible Strowman versus Undertaker. at WrestleMania as well, which would kind of be a rough match to watch, but
It would be. It would be. And Eva says, I'm hyped for Triple H versus Rollins, to be honest. And
they're setting that up. What is Triple H? I mean, what is Seth Rollins gonna do at the Royal Rumble now that he's not in the match?
I'm not sure,
Is
to
it
be
gonna
honest.
be a promo or call out Triple H or I don't know. We'll see.
Well, guys and gals, that's going to be it for the show this week. Dillinger, before you go, tell people out there about Code of Honor.
Code of Honor is a fantasy wrestling fed played by the Xbox One of WWE 2K17, and we go from game to game, and we've been around for 4 years. You can tune in every week on www.twitch.tv/DLAM1 on Twitch TV every Thursday and Friday at around 6 o'clock Eastern, which I think that is like 5 o'clock Central.
Peace out, Acadiana.
All right, with that being said, guys and gals, that's it for Sports Entertainment tonight. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Wrestling, yeah, wrestling.
Wrestling.